My wife cheated, so I made sure she caught me cheating too. Alright, let me start by saying that I know what I did was not the most ethical thing in the world. But let me also say that my wife cheated on me with a coworker, so in my opinion, all bets were off. I was completely blindsided when I found out that my wife had been cheating on me. I mean, we had been together for 10 years, and I thought everything was going well. But then I started noticing little things, like how she would always take her phone with her everywhere she went, and how she would always be on it, even when we were supposed to be spending time together. She would sit in the recliner in the corner of our living room and pretend to be playing a game or checking her emails, and then frantically switch up her apps as I approached, thinking she was hiding her panic well. Oh, it was all too obvious. One day, I decided to just go through her phone. I looked through it and found messages between her and a coworker that were pretty disgusting. They talked about meeting up after work, and how they couldn't wait to be together again. I mean, I was kind of prepared for this. I could see the signs and all, but that didn't mean it didn't hurt. So I took pics of the evidence with my own phone, and then I put her phone back where I found it, and then told her I was going to go help my father move some stuff around in his garage, just so I could leave and get some air and think. It wasn't long until I knew what I wanted to do. I thought to myself, if the roles were reversed, she'd probably be super pissed. I kept pondering what I could do to make this happen, and so I decided to take a major risk. Also that she could not only feel the pain of betrayal I was feeling, but also that she could be exposed for having double standards and for being the lying cheater that she was. So I decided to hire an escort model to help me stage my own affair. Yes, I said it, LOL. She agreed to send dirty messages back and forth with me as well as some risque pics. I also took her out a few times and had my buddy take some incriminating photos of us together. I wanted to make it look as real as possible. She wore classy but sexy clothes, making sure to show off what she was sporting, if you know what I mean. She was super cool about the whole thing. She was so impressed that I was going through with my plan that she even offered me a service upgrade for free. I told her that I could never cheat, but perhaps when this was all over we could talk. So anyway, once I had everything set up, I had my buddy tell my wife that he had some information that she needed to know. He told her that he had seen me out with another woman and that he had pictures to prove it. My wife was understandably upset and demanded to see the pictures, so he showed her. She asked him how he got the pics, and he said that he had just happened to be at the restaurant, so he took the pics and waited, pondering if he should do anything with them. He played his part perfectly. He told her that it wasn't fair that I had cheated on her and that she must really be hurt. I mean, she certainly did not want anyone to know she was cheating, and she was genuinely upset, so she played right into things. He also told her to check my phone, which I conveniently left out for her when I took extended bathroom breaks. LOL. He convinced her that she needed to make me pay and that she should expose him at the party we were invited to at his house in a few days. He told her to play it totally cool until then and that it would be worth it in the end. Side note, everybody needs a buddy who will have their back like that. Am I right? Oh, I know I'm right. So the day of the party arrived, and my wife was all fidgety and nervous. I didn't say anything to her. I just played cool, even carrying an arrogance about me that must have really been driving her nuts. I could tell that she couldn't wait to expose me in front of everyone. But I was ready for her. So about 30 minutes into the party, she got everyone's attention. We all gathered around and then she dropped the bomb. She held up her phone to show everyone in the room that I had been cheating on her. She had the pics from my phone and the messages as well as the pics from our dates. Now, most of our friends had no idea what was going on either way, so naturally, there were gasps and shock and all of that. But I was totally prepared for this moment and I had been rehearsing my part well. So what did I do? First, I sent a quick text to my escort girl who was waiting outside in her car. Then, I just acted like it was no big deal. I calmly told her to relax and that nobody cared. Of course, some of our friends were angry with me, but I just kept up my act and pretended like it was no big deal. I said that it was only natural that I get with a younger woman about 10 years in, and that everyone knows that is something that is going to happen to everyone. Then I coldly told my wife to bring me another drink from the cooler, just to make her more angry. She refused, of course, and was totally losing it at this point. She started crying and asking me how I could do this to her. So I told her that her sex hadn't been that good lately, and that I wanted to mix it up with a younger woman so I didn't die of boredom in the bedroom. You should have seen her face. You should have seen everyone else's faces too. Everyone knows I am a super chill and nice guy. I have a clean reputation and for good reason. So it was no wonder that everyone looked so puzzled and freaked out. So at this point, her ego was really being attacked, and she was getting more and more furious, angry tears just rolling down her face. So after a few more minutes of me shrugging it off and wrinkling my nose at those who were also upset with me, it was finally time to turn the tables. So I dropped the bomb. I told everyone that my wife was the one who had really cheated on me and that this entire thing was a setup. She could have died right there on the spot, but I am glad she didn't. You can't be tortured if you're dead, LOL. I pulled out my phone and showed them the proof of the text messages and the dirty pics that she had been sending back and forth with her coworker, as well as screenshots of hotel receipts I had found. Everyone was visibly upset and confused. They didn't know who to believe. But I wasn't done yet. That is when I brought in the escort model and had her confess to the group that this was all a setup. I showed them the original message that I had sent her, dated 3 weeks earlier, where I explained the entire plan to her. I handed her a $100 bill and thanked her for coming and finishing the job. She didn't let herself back out. My wife just stood there, looking like a complete idiot. She looked at my buddy, who just shrugged his shoulders and walked away. She knew she had been had. I told her, right in front of everyone, that it was really heartwarming to see her so upset, thinking I had really cheated on her, while the whole time she was the one who was guilty. What a double standard. I mean, what is good for the goose is good for the gander, so why would you even care? What a moron. I told her I wanted a divorce, then I apologized to everyone for causing such a disturbance at the party, and then I let myself out and drove home without her. Another friend of ours had agreed to bring her home later. I went home and threw all of her clothes and her other personal belongings, as well as a suitcase and a duffel bag, into the living room. I then went into the bedroom and locked the door and went to bed. In the end, I don't regret having done this to her. My wife cheated on me, and I wanted her to feel the same pain and betrayal that I felt. And I think I accomplished that. Seeing her reaction at the party and the way she was exposed for what she really was a satisfying feeling. Looking back on it now, I can see that what I did was pretty messed up. But at the time, I was so hurt and angry that I just wanted to hurt her back. I don't think I would ever do something like that again. It was a little too exhausting. I just hope that my next relationship goes better than this one. Well, that one was different. How would you grade this one? What would you have done differently? Let us know in the comments section below. When you subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell. Click here for more Tangled threads.